second and look at this picture here. What do you see? My then 3-year-old niece, who crafted this masterpiece, wanted to show you all something special. A multicolored castle in the air, a castle of her grandparents, guarded by that gate on the side, a home of her mom and dad, which by the way has 2 chimneys, because why not? Her mom is a very busy baker. She has 2 ovens, so she'll need 2 chimneys, right? A tiny little bird house into which her blue birdie is flying right in. And a 2-colored rainbow with a hat and 2 feet, just in case it got tired in the air and wanted to come and stand on the ground. This was how my niece viewed our world while locked up indoors in the pandemic. Now the interesting part is, what did you see? Some of that, all of that, or none of that? I believe all of us are presented with the same canvas, the same world, but each one of us perceives it differently. And if we had the time to share our perceptions of this canvas right here, then we would realize every single person saw something different. And that is what something art is all about. Colors and shades, lines and curves, patterns and pixels. This is my language, my comfort zone. Hello everyone, I'm Shailly Gajjar, an IT engineer turned digital artist, illustrator, and social media content creator with an experience of over 8 years of freelancing. I have worked with some renowned brands, conducted doodling workshops online and offline. My first conceptualized book for children is releasing soon. And last but most important, I'm a full-time millennial mama to a gorgeous 1-year-old. Today, I'll take you all on an express journey that brought me and my art from a small-town Gujarati medium girls' school of Bhuj to the fingertips of hundreds of thousands of people of all ages, professions, genders across the globe. Unlike the Gen Z of today, at 13, even at 17, again at 21, I had no clue that I was going to become this person. Unlike a lot of Indian women, the first part of my story started with my wedding preparations. This, what you see here, is a miniature version of the kankotri that I made, specially handcrafted for the groom. So after the wedding, we moved to Dubai, and I got a pretty average job there. So my husband encouraged me to start taking freelance work. I even taught art and craft to my neighborhood kids there. I started my Facebook page, Shailly's Cartoonish World, just to share the daily doodles I was creating in my free time. Eventually, my first big commission in Dubai happened the same year. It was for a children's book in Arabic, and all I had to do was color it. In payment, I got a code, and I had to go get my dirhams from an ATM machine. It was such a wonderful feeling because I had earned a lot more in that one commission than in my day job. In 2017, I made a caricature of Virat and Anushka's wedding picture, which got featured in a few well-known media platforms. And after that, my work started getting noticed. I got more and more wedding and portraits commission after that. And just when I realized that I have finally figured out everything, we decided to move back to Jamnagar in 2018 to be with the family. With that move came a whole different cultural and social shift that I wasn't prepared for. Those who perform art form of any kind here would realize that your art gets heavily influenced by the state of your mind. But that was also the same year when I got my first international order through the Instagram from US. And suddenly, the move to this town stopped feeling limiting. 2019 was the year when I put my head down, worked 12 hours a day, and focused on using my strengths and making more money. Probably the hardest I worked and the steepest my Insta page climbed. And that is when I realized that my marriage had blessed me with a perfect business partner. Mihir was also an engineer, but a practicing one. By then, I was making a lot more in 1 month than my counterparts from BEIT. But guess what? I was doing all this while sitting at home doing something I absolutely loved. Earning through sketching and drawing all day was literally like a dream come true for me. Then came the pandemic in 2020. Commissions went down, but on the upside, people started spending more time on the internet, and I got more time to create the content. Unacademy reached out to me that year to create a Doodling 101 course for the kids. In 2021, I got featured in Google India Calendar. I was one of the 12 artists selected from the country. And at Thyarthi, mara Faina drawing room ma 2021 ચાલે છે. Another funny story. Is there anyone here who isn't familiar with this dating app called Tinder? Well, someone who got married at 22 and never got a chance to be on it, it was quite amusing to make a promotional reel for Tinder. With all the work that I was getting and the creative stuff I was exploring, there was one secret goal that had not yet taken shape. So in 2022, I finally gathered some courage and started drafting a few proposals and sent out to a few editors and publishers. Finally, after over a year long of efforts, someone believed in my work and we have our first book releasing soon. Now that brings me to the second part of my story. Was I always an artist in the making? The answer is simple, yes. I was that kid who you would find doodling over any random surface. I journaled as a kid, an alien concept for today's kids. While growing up, I've seen my mom, my grandmothers, my aunts crafting various art forms, from kachi and embroidery to fabric paintings to mudwork to whatnot. I can proudly say that my home back in Bhuj is basically a mini museum of my family's collected artworks. However, art was never considered as an education or a career path. In hindsight, I can say that I chose engineering because of the lack of awareness of the career options in creative fields. I managed to pass all subjects in IT, but you know what? I became the go-to person to get the engineering drawings done. I remember there was a point in my second semester when I could draw a boiler in my sleep. Itla friends ni assignments puri kari thi. Our hostel rooms were quite pale and boring, so I started doodling over the walls, and soon all the walls were covered with my doodles. Word spread so much that I was even invited to decorate other rooms as well. And one might think that I would be punished to spoil the public property, but apparently the hostel authorities were pretty impressed by the free uplift with their interiors. In fact, the highlight of my 4 years of undergrad was getting the Best Artist Award by a whooping vote count. એટલે ટૂંકમાં 4 વર્ષના એન્જિનિયરિંગમાં બીજું ઘણું બધું શીખી લીધું કોડિંગ સિવાયનું જે હજી સુધી કામ આવે છે. I'm often asked, what are my challenges? My cartoons are always smiling or joking. My doodles are bright, happy and cheerful. So is life just a bright ball of sunshine? No, of course not. There are a few challenges. For instance, balancing time. Unlike those who go to the office, I do not have a setup routine. I'm always available at home. So setting boundaries becomes a huge task. Especially with a baby in life, there's always a subconscious mom guilt for every minute spent at the desk and not with the child. Also, justifying the work from home, paid partnership, commission-based business model to my community and society. I have always tried to keep my work any sort of agenda free because I wanted my page to be a place where people come and take away a smile. But because I've got this one chance to probably influence a few young minds, I would like to leave you all with a few things to think about. First, I believe every woman should find a way to earn. With the capability to earn comes the great power and the independence to live and choose a life of your own terms, which sadly is a privilege a lot of us do not enjoy. Second, even if it takes time and struggle, put an effort in finding your passion, your true calling in life. That makes the work-life balance a lot easier and fun. And third, keep learning and keep growing, however good you are. Sachu ko, though until today I've only made speeches in my shower, probably Miss World or something. I was in the audience a few years back and will be again the next time as well. This time I was fortunate enough to be on the stage and share my story with you all. I hope I've managed to talk to the inner artist in you. I sincerely hope you go back home today and pick up a pencil or a paintbrush and draw something, anything, even if it is for the very first time or for the first time in many years. That would make overcoming my stage fear and being on the stage as an introvert worth it. I'd like to end it with my favorite cliche quote: go and follow your dreams, but first follow me on Instagram. Thank you, everyone.